In tonight's WGN Investigates, now that Arlington International Racecourse is closing, can the local horse racing community survive? There used to be 5 tracks in our area, and now we're down to just 1. And while the industry struggles to compete with casinos and other forms of gambling, we found big bets are being laid on horse racing's future, even in the face of long odds.
It's a perfect start in Arlington, $1,000,009. Steinlein.
For decades, Arlington International Racecourse was the state's crown jewel of racing.
We've been here several years and we've enjoyed it.
More than just a horse race?
Oh yeah, it's the atmosphere, especially with the new track. It's fun.
I think we're at the beginning of a new era here now.
There was always a vision that Arlington would always live on and would continue to be a leader in the industry. This facility is one of the most magnificent racetracks in the world.
And the rough even start, and there's Good Mongolia, who strikes out toward the inside Texas rain.
But that reign ended when track owner Churchill Downs didn't apply for future race dates and announced it was selling the land to the Bears, who were eyeing a new stadium in the suburbs.
Very labor intensive, very high overhead operation. So you need $200 million in wagering just to offset that expense.
If the deal goes through, it will leave Hawthorne Racecourse in suburban Stickney.
When you're looking at a 2022 racing schedule, it's going to be one. It's going to be Hawthorne Racecourse
as the last remaining track in the Chicago area.
That's the goal. You want it to become a destination. And you look, we're 10 minutes outside of Chicago.
Hawthorne is the last track in the country to offer 2 types of racing, thoroughbred and harness, at different times throughout the year.
You know, as you can see, we're going past what is going to be nearly a $500 million casino. You know, they've started breaking ground on that, and that's going to help everything around here.
Despite that distinction, there are fewer people playing the ponies here, as casinos and other forms of gambling have exploded statewide.
It's heartbreaking to watch that.
$5. To give you an idea, the industry's main source of revenue is known as the handle, or the amount wagered on races. That figure has been steadily declining. It tracks statewide, falling from a total of $1 billion in 2000 to $537 million last year.
The drop-off is because we haven't been able to compete with other states. What other states have done is they have melded their racetracks and their casinos. The catchphrase today is racino. And so what that has done is they take some of the assets from the casino and they put it into horse racing, driving the purses. When the purses are higher, that's where people want to race their horses. And so we've been left behind, and that's why we're trying to play catch-up.
For Hawthorne, that means the development of this sports book and an on-site casino, now under construction.
Is on the main level, you're going to have a full Vegas-style sports book.
Those are amenities that have helped tracks in other states prosper. But Illinois lawmakers blocked them for years until finally a new law was passed in 2019.
It's a sign of the times. They have to come back and level the playing field, and that's what we're looking to do.
All eyes are on the future at this track, too, on the fringes of farmland in the far southern suburbs.
We're actually approaching, we'll be going up on the old track.
Balmoral Park closed in late 2015 after its former owners filed for bankruptcy protection.
If you look at the light poles and go around, that was the track. And when we get down here at the other end, you'll see part of the track is still here. This is the original, on your right here is the original finish line. This is the paddock. This is what all the horses would be in there during race night.
And since then, Balmoral mostly gathered dust.
We're on the 3rd floor right now. This was the dining area and buffet room.
It's really pretty, all the colorful seats.
Though its new owners,
they're kept the original ones from 1926, so it's very unique.
They'll all be new and refurnished.
have big plans for the property.
The better question is what's not coming here. There's going to be a hotel for horses, music, events. We're doing casinos. It's going to be a mini Disney World, Las Vegas type of situation up in here.
They want to bring back racing.
We're going to get some work done on the track, add some new soil down there.
And build a casino and event space.
So we want to have like a lot of weddings going on here.
The family made its money in trucking. And he is an aspiring singer and reality TV star. They believe they have the capital.
I mean, I just asked my dad for money. Really.
But they'll need to prove they have connections and clout to turn that dream
Being that it's from 1926, there's a lot of work that has to be done
into reality and get a license from the state.
The biggest hurdle is going to be time.
People have to wait and stay patient.
They got to let us do our magic, that's all.
It's lonely out here. It really is. I mean, pray that one day it'll open back up.
Meanwhile, at Hawthorne, races are running as casino construction crawls along.
Of course, everybody wants this thing to be done as quickly as possible, but the other thing that we want to do is we want to do it right.
It could be a big win, not only for the horses and their owners, but the people who feed and clean and care for them.
This place cannot be reproduced.
Mike Campbell is president of the Illinois Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
It's a great loss. It's not just a great loss to us, it's a great loss to this community.
Arlington's owner came under fire because the track could have added a casino, but chose not to.
There's a lot of money could be lost if it goes under, you know, and a lot of people have done this all their life, and they wouldn't know what else to do without this.
But Hawthorne is going all in, betting that racing can experience a revival.
This is the beginning of a new era for racing in Illinois, and there is hope.
This week, the Illinois Gaming Board gave preliminary approval for casino gambling at Hawthorne in Stickney. Its owners plan to use part of their casino cash to supplement purses or the prizes it offers winners of races. In other states, this has attracted more breeders and bettors, and Hawthorne hopes the same will happen here. But Lourdes, there's still no timetable for the completion of that trackside casino at Hawthorne.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see all that old video and to see what has happened to some of these places that used to be packed with people.
It used to be packed and plentiful, and now we're down to one.
All right, thank you, Ben. We'll still had a new twist in a